basically what we have to do is we have to focus on resources. That's why I tell you guys, I'm actually one of the richest men in the world. Nadine, you one of the richest woman in the world. Um,
I agree.
whoever owns land, you're one of the richest people in the world, and you don't even know it. Okay, because you are in a position to grow your own food, have your animals on your land, survive and flourish. Okay, whereas somebody, they got a new Corvette, a new car, a nice apartment that they're renting, a nice house that they're renting, they got a great job, corporate job, government job, they got 401k, they got all these benefits. Those people, if a catastrophe happened right now, they are out of gas. Okay, they are out of gas. Whereas the people that own land, if a catastrophe happened, anything happened, like the Amish, the Amish, if anything happened, the Amish, like, it don't even affect them. It doesn't even affect them. Okay, they already have cellars. Have you guys watched some of these videos with the Amish people? They have cellars full of food for years. Meats, fruits, vegetables. They have cows, they have goats, they have chicken. They know how to wash clothes without machines. They know how to make make clothes. They make their own clothes. They don't buy their clothes in a stores. They know how to tend to horses and cattle. They don't even know anything except for um living off the land. Okay, they don't know anything except for living off the land. So anybody that knows how to live off the land, you are actually one of the richest people in the world. You are actually one of the richest people in the world. Okay, so um what I need you guys to focus on, and I can't stress this enough, like I said in the beginning, for those of you that missed it, focus on something you love that you can barter. Okay, if you know how to fix guns, if you know how to fix machinery, if you know how to grow food, if a certain food, if you love chickens, if you love goats, um, if you know how to wash clothes without a machine, your grandma taught you how to scrub them clothes together, you know, um, anything that does not require modern conveniences, okay? Start to practice that now. Of course, on your land, okay? Of course, on your land. Um, that's gonna be your money. That is gonna be your currency. One of the things that they were also doing during the Great Depression, why so many people became rich, like Lay's potato chip company, um, um, all these. I'm gonna play the video for you guys. These companies became so rich and wealthy because they figured out how to take cheap food like potatoes and make potato chips. Okay, they figured out how to take lemons and make lemonade. Okay, they figured out how to take pork and make bologna sandwiches and spam and stuff like that. Okay, um, they figured out how to make liquor, cheap liquor. You know, um, all this type of stuff. Even RVs and travel trailers, that became a thing. Okay, so people learn how to build tiny houses. Tiny houses is not a new thing. That's been going on, right? So anything that you can make cheap for people, but still be like this great thing, you are gonna be such an asset. You are gonna be such an asset. Like whoever can think of the next cheap food that they can make for people, but it tastes great. It's whatever, some at least some semi healthy, and definitely kills the hunger, will be the next millionaire. Okay, will be the next millionaire. Okay, it's not gonna be about you know the best quality. It's just gonna be about a food that can kill hunger, kill the hunger. Okay, it's not gonna be about um the best medicine. It's gonna be about who can give you a medicine to take the pain away, right? So if you're good with holistic herbs and all this type of stuff, right? You might not be able to make a person cancer go away, but you can make them feel better, make the pain go away. Okay? So all these type of people in times of famine and war are assets. These are the people that are gonna be well off. Okay, these are the people that's gonna be well off. So the only thing that I have to tell you guys, because I want to ask you questions now, is what do you feel is your place in real estate? In because in real estate you can be a landlord, you provide housing for people. Um, in real estate you can be a flipper. You can flip the property. You can buy the land, chop it up, sell off the lots. You can buy the house, remodel it, sell the house. So that way you're providing inventory for landlords. You can be a farmer, a rancher. Um, you can. There's so many facets and niches in real estate. I want to know from you guys personally. Let's start with Rwanda. Rwanda, girl, I always butcher your name. I'm just call you goddess.
Just remember the country in Africa with the A, Rwanda.
Rwanda, okay, Rwanda. Let's start with you. What do you
Mm-hmm.
feel in real estate is your niche? Is your thing? Like, what do you want to provide? What do you want to, is
Glad
it
you asked.
is it just for
I
generational wealth? Is it just to pass down? Is it just to build wealth, or is it to like what is it?
it's a multiple. It's I have a multiple ideas of what I want to do. Generational wealth for one, but my main goal is to get some land and grow herbs, and I want to help people to heal naturally. That is my main goal.
Okay, so on your land, that's what you're gonna be doing.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
you need to be watching videos about that. You need to be learning about different herbs. I was just watching a brother earlier. He has all the herbs. I'm like, this dude is like living in the woods, and he has all this medicine and herbs and stuff like that. I'm like,
I
wow.
have all of that. Yes, in fact, I have been collecting heirloom seeds, and for the past 4 years, I want to say I've been collecting seed way even before I thought about actually getting into buying purchasing land. I knew I always wanted land, but I
Mm-hmm.
went into herbs, learning herbs, and then I even started experimenting by growing carrots and lettuce and onions and things like that on my balcony when I had the apartment back then,
Mm-hmm.
and I fell in love with it. And I remember my mom trying to teach us that when we were younger, but we didn't, we wasn't into that back then. And
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate what she was trying to instill in us at that time. But we was city girls and we didn't want to be getting dirty and all that stuff. But I remember that stuff like, oh my God. So I have tons of seeds. I practice with herbs. I have a lot of herbs. In fact, I have herbal tea every morning, you know, before I do anything else. That's my breakfast, my herbal teas. And I'm studying that too as well, you know. And the land I really, really want. So I want to have like a camp for women, you know, and they can come there, live in nature for a little bit, drink and learn how to eat naturally and natural foods, healthy foods, and get back on the track of being in nature. So that was my goal, you know, when I first got into this and what I wish to do.
So you got to focus on that then, because that's a real business. That is a real thing. They're women, they're people. There's a girl I saw on Instagram. I think that's what she has, is a retreat for women. You know, that's a real business. You know, so focus on
That's
that.
what I see.
Yeah, and thank God, Mama instilled that in you, about the herbs and stuff like that. You know, so that's your calling. You know, that's a real, having a calling. That's a real thing. You like, God, why do I always feel like I need to do this? That's your calling. That is your calling. Like, you're not supposed to be doing whatever you're doing. You're supposed to be doing your calling. Whatever you're doing is just supposed to be the catalyst. You're just supposed to be making money to do that, to then use that money to build your calling, you know? Yeah. You know, let's go with Miss Nadine. What do you think your position is with real estate and land?
Hi everybody. My future goals in real estate is to rent out rooms. Can you turn that down, the TV?
Okay.
To rent out rooms and cabins. I'm an immigrant's kid, so I'm into herbs. And actually, I was just telling my husband today, I want to have the ground tilted where we live and start growing fruits, vegetables, herbs. I like outdoor cooking. A lot of people are not familiar with, during natural disasters, I cook outside, I cook on my grill, I cook whole meals. I also have the skills of crocheting, making ceramics, you know, I've done a lot of that. So I want to pass on a lot of the things that my parents taught to even strangers so that they can survive. During Sandy, I used the car charger battery as to give us electricity, to help power up our vehicles, to help power up our lights. I still use kerosene oil heaters and kerosene oil lamps, just like we did in the islands. And I think not only renting to people in real estate, but using the land to educate them on how to live off the land. That you don't have to, just like what Dragon's teaching us, you don't need a mansion to be happy, to be healthy, and to live. So that's my goals.
Okay, so you want to provide housing and education. Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
Miss Annie? Miss Annie, you there? Miss Annie?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
What do you feel? What's calling you to real estate? What do you feel is your
Well,
calling?
I've always been interested in real estate. I just never went the land way. I've had land before. I've done a lot of things, and I was raised on a farm, so I have the basics of the basics. So I'm like one of these people that I know a little bit about a lot. I would want to organize. I would want land where I could probably provide a community for people, not necessarily about it being about money. I want it to be about the people, and where it's each one teach one. Bring the people in, and the ones that are and I won't say expert, but have the knowledge. As the sister said before, in herbal, the herbal side of the land, even the farming side of the land, even down to raising animals and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Bring people in and build a community.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm more or less going that route, making it about the people and the land
Okay.
and the resources. Provide the resources, but not necessarily make it about money. I want that to be the last thing it's about. I want it to be
Giving back.
people being able to survive, yes, and
Mm-hmm.
giving back.
So your thing is
Yeah.
giving back. So your thing is more or less providing a charity refuge, giving back, teaching. Um, your thing is community. So your thing wouldn't be necessarily okay. Giving you guys. I'm a landlord. I'm giving you guys a place to stay, like Miss Nadine, or I'm teaching you guys herbs or anything. Your thing is teaching people about community, or providing community. Like people can, it would be like the community center of the neighborhood. So if we had a neighborhood,
Exactly.
Miss Nadine would be where people, place would be where people live. Rwanda would be a place would be where people go to have a little retreat and to learn about the herbs and relax, like a vacation, something like that. And your place would be the community center. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. All right. Jerome, you next.
So I feel like everybody is almost on the same wave because as far as the real estate part, I don't want to be a real estate mogul, but I want to be a good real estate business person. And that doesn't mean just owning. I want to be able to invest. I want to be able to extend my knowledge and extend these things, just like Miss Annie was saying, extend my education to other people. Because where I'm from, I live in Connecticut, and there's just not a whole lot of support here.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it will be things like that to be a good business person and be able to understand and bring other people in like us. And as far as land,
Mm-hmm.
if I was to ever own some land, or when I do get some land, as a matter of fact, I'm going to speak into existence. When I do get my land,
Mm-hmm.
I would want to stick a little to maybe, like you said, maybe like the fruit side, maybe like watermelon and tomatoes and stuff like that. Because, like you said, that stuff like that, that's what's going to make people rich if it ever goes down. And you know, and I also, I have a friend that we combined a non-profit called That's the Homelessness. So that's where my business with real estate comes in that too, because we have a homeless issue everywhere. And I don't want to, be just business-wise here. I mean everywhere in other states, other cities, even as far as working with some of these states and cities, the senators and the governors or wherever, and get some of these contracts and to be able to help some of this. And for me, that will be, better than wealth for me, because as we all looking for general wealth, but when you love to do something and you get joy out of doing something, the money is going to come. The money will be there, and it's like killing two birds with one stone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I get it. So if we was like a neighborhood, you would more or less be like the guy that everybody comes to be like, hey, how do I get into real estate? How do I get some of this land out here that y'all got out here? So like if I moved into the area, I would ask around, hey, who do I go to learn about this land around here, and which land is good for me? Like who knows about land? So
Basically, leader.
the leader.
That's why I said I would rather be a good business land, and with real estate, I would rather be a good business partner than a mogul. I'll take being a mogul, but
Right.
I would rather be a great business real estate person. Just in every asset.
In every aspect. Okay. Right.
commercial built and everything. It's just like and it's the same with land too.
Mm-hmm.
With land, I really want to understand and get a lot more knowledge to really be able to determine how to go about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know, just like you said, for me, it would be a little bit on, the food side if I, was ever get some land. And, I'm learning a lot about wetland, dry land, and a lot of that is very, informational for me
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, if that ever does happen, at least I got that little bit to go off of.
Right.
So with the land thing, it's kind of where we at and the times with the land thing,
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta really like be on it with the land, that's physical land. But I understand that having physical land, like you said, is better than computer money and all of that. So, like I said, real estate and land owning is two different things for me because I've been around real estate a while too.
Mm-hmm.
And I see how easy it is. I see how easy it is to make money off of that. Once you get into it and you get one good, it's off to the races. It's unlimited from there.
Yeah, like I told you guys in last class, even me myself, I can admit it. I should even be even way further ahead in real estate than I am now. Like I should be even way further ahead with the knowledge that I have. Like I've actually been leaving a lot of money on the table, but I'm a numbers guy. Those that know me personally know I'm a numerologist as well. So I look at the money in a long run. I look at the money in the long run. I try to think like how these billionaires think. Okay, because actually one of the guys that I've bought a lot of land from, he's actually one of my mentors, and he told me, he said, you only lose when you sell. He always say that. He always say that. I'd be like, Mike, I think I want to sell this one. I want to. He told me, he said, Dragon, you only lose when you sell. I said, how much? I said, how much money you think I'll make if I sell this? How much? You only lose when you sell. I'm like, damn, why this guy keep telling me this? Then it just hit me one day. It just hit me one day. If I buy a land for 20,000 and I chop up the land, say it's an acre of land, I buy for 20,000 and I chop it up into 10 pieces and I sell each piece of land for 10,000. That's 100,000. I pretty much could make $80,000 off my 20,000, right? In theory, right? But when you look at it, that's $80,000 that I'm making one time from one property. On top of it, I'm gonna have to pay taxes. On top of it, I'm gonna have to take whatever is left, say 50,000, and guess what I'm gonna have to do? Go find another investment because I can't just have $50,000 sitting around. I got to find somewhere else to park it, correct? So the idea is, why sell the land in the first place? Why not figure out how to make $80,000 off the land, even if it's one time, and you've made the same amount of money? Matter of fact, like I said, they're gonna hit you with taxes anyway on that 80,000. So in theory, you really only have to make $50,000 off that land one time, and you've done the same thing as if you sold the land, except you made this $50,000 off the land, and guess what? You still have the land. So my whole thing is buying the land, figuring out how much money I would make if I sold the land, if I chopped it up into pieces and sold it, or if I fixed it up and sold it as one piece of land. My whole thing is figuring out every property I buy is how much money can I potentially make right now if I sold this land Okay, this land I can make 50,000 after taxes. That land 100,000 after taxes. That land 40,000 after taxes. Okay, so now I know. Okay, within a reasonable amount of time, um, besides my equity, because I'm automatically make equity anyway. How can I make that amount of money off this land? Okay, me personally, as you guys know, I do Airbnb. My ranch, right? I bought my ranch for like 30 something thousand, right? Right now, my ranch is worth 130 something thousand. I'm not, so I'm up like 100,000 equity. So me and my business partner split that. That's basically 50,000 for me, 50,000 for him, right? I'm not counting that because that's just naturally that's gonna happen, right? So on my ranch, I've been Airbnb for about 2, 3 years now, and I've made at least $15,000, okay, off my land. So technically, if I sold my land within the first year that I bought it, I would have probably got, if I sold my interest, I would have probably got I'd have probably walked off with maybe 10,000, but I've made 15,000 since I've had my land. Is everybody following what I'm saying so far?
Yes.
So I've made more money by actually keeping my land. And guess what? I still have my land. You guys follow me? Does everybody follow? Everybody follow what I just said? Because that was a key. That was the important part right there. Okay. So that's why I have not sold any of my land. Now in the future I do plan to, just to just because some of my properties, that's the way I'm gonna make money off of them, is by letting the equity build and then selling. Like that's the whole strategy. But for the majority of my lands, my strategy is to make money off of them without selling them. Okay? Everybody follow what I'm saying? So you don't have to necessarily sell your land, sell your property to make money. Just figure out how much. Okay, just figure out. Okay, if I sold my land, I bought my land. We bought it for 30 something thousand, right? Within the first year, it was August. It was August 2020. It was August 2020. So by August 2021, we could have easily got we could have easily got like 60,000, like double our money by that time, about 60,000, right? Which means I would have walked away with yeah, somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 profit, right? Then pay taxes, right? But because I held on to my land, because I held on to it, I made more than $5,000, $10,000, and I still have my land. Okay, so, and that's what it normally takes. People normally sell their property within a year. You know, flippers, people that flip houses, buy a house, fix it up, sell it. They normally do it within 6 months, a year, right? So that's my strategy. That's my niche. My thing in real estate. I'm actually in it for the money. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm in it for community service. I'm in it to make a retreat for people, or I'm in it
It's
to
your business plan.
right.
Yes.
I'm in it to make to be a mogul, because I don't advertise myself as I'm this mogul. I just advertise myself that I want people to get land. You know, I'm not in it I'm not a herbalist or anything like that. I'm in it for the money. I'll be honest with you. I'm in it for the money. You know, so I'm trying to I'm farming, but I'm farming for myself. I'm not a farmer like to grow food for other people, or anything like that. So I'm literally in it for the money. So with me being in it for the money, that is the strategy. Now if I was flipping land, like just buying it, flipping it, buying it, flipping it, buying it, flipping it, yeah, I would probably be ahead on paper. On paper, I would have a million or millions of dollars, but that's paper money. You got to always remember that's paper money. That is money that could be like Venezuelan money where they was burning it. It was worthless. Okay? Whenever you have paper money, you have a problem. That problem is you need to hurry up and park it in a hard asset. People that have a lot of paper money, people that have a lot of stock market money, stuff like that, they cannot rest at night because they don't know if they're going to get up and the stock market is going to crash or the American dollar is going to crash or whatever. But people that have real physical assets like land rest very well at night. Very well. Even if you buy a piece of land for $100,000 today, like back in '04, '05, '06, and a year later it's worth $10,000, it's no big deal. It's still land. You can still live on the land. You can still rent the land out. Matter of fact, the market crashed in '08. House prices went down. Property prices went down. For those of you that were around, you remember what happened? Rents went up. It was crazy. Like how are the prices going down but the rents are going up? It didn't make sense. It did not make sense, but that is what happened. That is what happened. Okay? The reason why rents went up is people were losing their homes.
That's exactly right. A lot of people ended up losing their homes, and then they went back to renting.
Then they went back to renting, and now you had a floodgate of people needing to rent. Now you have a floodgate of people wanting to rent that can't buy because they just got a foreclosure. Okay, now you have more renters than buyers, and that's what happened. Matter of fact, it was to the point people didn't even want to buy. So that's why prices kept going down because people are like, oh, I'll sell you the house. I'll sell you on owner financing. And people are like, I don't want to buy no house. I just got out of a house. I don't want to buy no house. I want to rent. And they're like, okay.
Because of the bank foreclosing on a lot of the property, those subprime loans.
Yeah.
A lot of the loans that those people got into, and they weren't aware that what was going to happen.
Yeah. So buying was a bad taste, became a bad taste in people's mouth. Even now, a lot of people don't want to buy. I know a lot of people. I'm like, why you don't buy? Just buy some land. I don't want to own anything. There are many people that told me straight up. And we were just watching a guy on YouTube earlier. He said buying land is crazy. We was watching his channel earlier. He said, why am I buy land when I gotta pay taxes and stuff like that? I'd rather live free on somebody else's land because that's what he's doing. He's living free on other people's land. And then
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And then
okay.
And then he's like, I thought he owned the land, but he don't. He's actually, what they call it, anyhow, he's breaking the law is what he's doing. But squatting, he's squatting on somebody's land. Even if it's government land, he's still squatting. So the whole idea of it though is that you're not building equity. Okay, and it's not your land, so you can't charge somebody rent. I don't even know how you rest well at night, knowing somebody come knocking on your door and arrest you or kick you off the land. So you have all these issues when you don't control it or own it. You know what I'm saying? So There are people like that, and I don't have nothing against them. You know, that's your life. You live your life. I have nothing bad to say about that. You know, that's your business, your prerogative. I have nothing bad to say about it. But it's just that, you know, there are people like that. They don't want to buy anything. So by them not wanting to buy anything, that creates more renters. That creates more renters, and that's good for us that do want to buy. That's wonderful for us that do want to buy. Okay. And then you have people, they don't want to be landlords. You have people that don't want responsibility. You have some people that are just free birds. They want to be free as a bird. They don't want any responsibility. They don't want anything. They just want to be free as a bird. Right. So that's what happened. You like, God, how is that possible? It's possible. You could give somebody a house right now for $100 and say, "Hey, man, I give you this house for $100," but because they know they have to maintain the property, they have to cut the grass, they have to pay the taxes. If anything break, they got to fix it. There are people that will tell you, "No, I'd rather give you $1,000 a month every month than give you $100 one time." It's just like cars, right? There are people that rather lease cars than buy a car cash. Okay? Why? Because they know if they buy a car cash, it's probably going to break down because, you know, it's used and they're going to have to fix it and they don't want the headache and this and that. Whereas they lease it, shoot, they could just get a new one every year. Okay, there are people like that. Okay, and I'm not. It's nothing wrong with it. If you could afford it, you know, you know, then that's what you do. But for the leasing company, the rental car company, they making crazy money. You got 100,000 people just want to pay you rent to rent your car. You're a millionaire. All right. So that's the business I'm in. I'm in the business of making money off people that they want to rent. They're happy to rent. You know, yeah. So that's it for the night, guys. That's all I got for you for tonight. So you guys know your niche. Okay, you guys know your niche. You know what you're in this for. Focus on that. No, I'm gonna go back to talking about manifesting because this is all a manifestation. You know, I find properties because I manifest them. You know, everything about our lives is a manifestation. You know, what we going through now is things we talked about a year, a month, 10 years ago. Like, believe it or not, 10 years ago, a year ago, you were saying to yourself or somebody, I want to buy some land. Then boom, I came up on your YouTube feed or however you found me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why I tell people don't walk around saying I'm broke and I don't have it and nobody want me and I'm hungry. Never say that I'm hungry. Always say I could eat something. You know, um always use words that more or less speak positivity into your life and what you want out of life instead of using words that you know you really don't want those things. You really don't want to be hungry, so why are you saying I'm hungry? You really don't want to be broke, so why are you saying I'm broke? Okay, that's why, you know, a person can have a lot of money now and a great job and then 5 years they're broke because 5 years ago you was on a great job, but you walking around telling people I'm broke because you don't want to lend people money. Just tell people, you know, it's not in my budget. You know, think of another way of telling somebody, hey, I don't want to lend you no money without saying I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, that's all I got for you guys for tonight. Any questions? Any questions? Any comments? Any questions?
I have a question. What was the outcome for the land that you and Emma went and bid it on that was in a flood zone?
The lady, she not gonna be back in at the county. She said she'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow Wednesday, right? So we will know tomorrow. So I have the answer for you the next class. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, she won't be back till tomorrow. So we going right down there
I
tomorrow.
think things work in you guys' favor though.
Yeah, I hope so too, cause we want the land, but just all the way around, the land is wet, the roads is wet. It's just all the way around. But that's why I tell you guys, do diligence, do diligence. I make the mistakes, so you guys don't have to. That's why you paid your money, so you could learn from my mistakes. All right.
Absolutely.
Anyhow, I love you guys, and
Love you too.
I see you, Sunye. Sunye.
Good night.
All right.
Everyone have a good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
All right. Peaceful rest. All right, guys. That is how we get down in the mastermind. Get in 754-229-0940. Love you.